I don't know if they were saving this composition for a rainy day like right now, or they felt like maybe they want to try Beastly first, show that if it didn't work out, they could bust out this comp. This is a comp we saw them play yesterday, and there's actually what you were talking about. They were playing it, and they didn't want to give any teams practice against it because they felt like it was just that powerful.
Yeah, so that kind of leads to an interesting like mind game now at this point. Is have they tipped their hand too early? Like, this is their first series of the America's Championship. Did they need to save that for going up against like Tempo Storm or something in the finals, or using it now? I mean, obviously they don't want to lose any series, but
yeah, of course not. I mean, it only takes a team 3 series to move forward and actually get a ticket to BlizzCon. So. This first series is going to be very important. They don't have to be worried about getting eliminated into the tournament. So I feel like showing the obviously Soar is one of the better teams in this tournament. So playing a good comp to beat them is going to be really.
And not only that, when you bring a comp like this and you know it works really well, might as well get the practice against the best in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So this game will be starting here very, very shortly. Of course, it is now Method up 2-1 versus Soar in this series. This is Soar's map choice, but Method has just been looking super strong, especially in that last game. Snut's just able to do so much damage. Interesting, Snut's actually running Adaptation in this match.
Are they playing Horde or Alliance? They're playing Horde.
They are playing Horde, yeah.
Yeah, so Snut's going to be playing that Orc Warlock with Adaptation, so he's going to be able to break out of CC chains every minute with that auto trinket. Sidu getting hodged up immediately. Eventually wants to get aggressive, already using his wings, trying to pressure down Method early on in this game, but Inviolable getting swapped to, taking a lot of damage, already at 50% HP. Joxy needs to connect some heals onto him. The Fear Spam coming out from Snuts. He's trying to get some of his damage out and build up as much as possible. The double leg sweep going out onto Inviolable as well as Joxy. Method going crazy in this opener so far.
Yeah, Avenge actually using his Avenging Wrath there as well to try and help out. Inviolable trying to get aggressive here, but he's just taking so much punishment. He's trying to turn it around onto Smexen, and Smexen actually might be in some trouble here. He's going to have to go ahead and use his Astral Shift. Sidu now caught into a stun. That Astral Shift is going to wear off. Smexen still in some trouble, but with that coming out, Sidu coming out of that, he's going to be fine. They're turning it back around onto Inviolable. They've managed to pull out a ton of cooldowns already.
Yeah, the Fell Lord doing work though. Inviolable and Evangeline both sitting in it, taking huge cleave damage right now. You can see Evangeline down to around 40% HP. Joxy not too concerned about healing him up. He wants to make sure Inviolable is topped off as he is the main kill target here for Method. The Bloodlust coming out from Smexen. Snuts trying to connect some damage, but they're doing an excellent job line of sighting him for the time being. Hand of Gul'dan coming out. Not going to be doing too much damage, but Snuts is trying to push in and build up as much damage as possible.
Yep, he's getting out as many of his pets as possible. Joxy actually doing a really good job of line of sighting him, not letting him summon anything just yet. There's a stun onto Sidu. Smexen could be in actually a lot of trouble right here. The Fear comes out as well. Sidu's still caught into that Fear. Smexen somehow staying alive though, just long enough to get that Life Cocoon out. They're trying to turn it back around onto Soar once again, but just not able to connect as well this time.
I want Snuts to save that Fell Lord for when Soar is line of sighting like that. And Viable getting a little bit low there, catches a huge heal though, able to reconnect onto Snuts. So doing a great job shutting down the damage coming in from Snuts. And Viable needs to be careful that he doesn't get over aggressive right now. When he is on that pillar, he's very safe, but in the middle of the map, he's in big trouble. Snuts can burst him very hard with that Demonology Warlock. Joxy throwing out a Halo, going to be connecting huge healing to his team as well as big damage out on the Method. Smexen dipping a little bit low, connecting a huge heal on, or Sidu able to connect a huge heal onto him. Right now. And right now, it just seems like Method is having a little bit of a hard time getting anything going. The smaller map, Dalaran Sewers, with the boxes playing very well for Soar so far.
There's a Demonic Empowerment from Snuts. Is he going to be able to get that Thalkills off and do a bunch of damage? There's Thalkills coming out. He's going to pump it into Avenge and actually put a big chunk of damage into Avenge. Is going to make him use his Ardent Defender to limit that damage. Now the Fear's coming out as well, landing a Fear just shortly onto Avenge. Are they actually just going to try and kill Avenge? There's the Fell Lord coming out. They're going to have to move out of that. Smexen trying his best to keep them stuck into it, but it's actually the Fell Lord peels for them really, really well. Smexen though in trouble, getting super low. They have no cooldowns for him. He needs to be able to kite or something to stay alive here. He's going back into the Fell Lord, just trying to be able to use that to get away. He's going to use that Demonic Gateway. He's going to get out of line of sight and be able to heal back up, but that was super close.
Yeah, Sidu needs to be able to reconnect onto Smexen, though it gets feared way out of line of sight. Smexen running into the safety of the Fell Lord. Evangeline and Inviolable will get to think twice before pushing into that. Sidu wants to get aggressive. The in cap going out onto Joxy. Snut's still trying to connect his damage, Hand of Gul'dan being casted out, as well as some Shadow Bolts. Evangeline getting bursted down quite hard, down to around 40% HP. Still has pretty much every single one of his defensive cooldowns though, so he should be fine. Right now, taking a look at mana, Joxy is at around 25%, Sea-Doo's at around 50. So mana could be a factor as this game goes deeper into dampening. Sea-Doo gonna go ahead and get Hodge up there. Doesn't look like Joxy's able to connect the Fear. Snut's doing a good job with that Axe Toss and full fearing Joxy away.
Yeah, and that Fellord will be coming up again in about 45 seconds, so that'll be scary once it's actually coming up. Smexen and Snuts both trying to go hard right now. There's the Hand of Gul'dan coming out, not able to actually finish that cast. He's just going to go ahead and cast it on Joxy. He doesn't actually care who the imps are attacking. He just wants them active so he can get those big foul kills consumptions out. And just trying to do his best right now to stay as aggressive as possible. Joxy may be in some trouble here, having used that Archangel, trying to get some heals off. He does manage to catch the Blessing of Protection from Avenge, which is going to force Method to pull off of him for just a second. So Soar actually doing a pretty good job dealing with that pressure.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where Soar wasn't used to a Demonology Warlock. Now they're kind of understanding it, but Inviable still getting low. The Incapacitate going out onto Joxy. He's not able to connect any heals. Evangeline tosses him a huge heal though. Joxy no longer in any crowd control, can top off Inviable. Now Soar wants to get aggressive with the Hodge onto Sea-Doo, knocking Smexen down, but he's able to reconnect onto Inviable quite quickly, getting back into Sea-Doo's line of sight. Sea-Doo can top him off. He's going to be completely fine for the time being. Both teams have stabilized, but like I said a little bit earlier, I think mana is going to be a big factor as dampening will be coming in very shortly.
Yeah, Joxy's already much lower on mana than Sea-Doo is, but if this pressure keeps up, Sea-Doo is going to have to keep pumping out all that healing. That said, Smexen has his Astral Shift available again, and Sea-Doo has his Life Cocoon, so they will have those cooldowns available. Similarly though, on Soar's side of the screen, as dampening is now starting to tick up, Inviable does have his Astral Shift available as well, and Joxy does at least have Rapture available. So there's a lot of potential options, a lot of defensive cooldowns to have to get through at this point. Snuts dropping the casting circle. There's the Demonic Empowerment. He just had the Hand of Gul'dan. He's trying to get the Thal kills off, but it looks like he got interrupted on it. There it goes. The Thal kills will go out. Dips Avenge super low. It's actually, I'm really interested as to why they're choosing to focus on Avenge so much.
I'm not exactly sure either. Maybe they feel like Inviable is a little too slippery. Right now, though, a little bit earlier on in the game, Sea-Doo was able to sit down for a full drink. Evangeline getting low, though. This could be his bubble. He's trying to kite around while mounted up. Joxy able to connect some heals onto him as well. Anytime he is on that mount, he is spec'd where he can knock people around. So when he is on that Divine Steed and he runs into someone and actually knocks them down, interrupts cast, can knock them out of line of sight. So I like the choice there, a little bit of utility coming out from that protection tally. Method trying to push in right now. I feel like they do have an advantage being up so high on mana. Inviable though, or Smexen doesn't want to push in too deep. Casting circle coming out from Snuts. He wants to get some cast out. He wants to get aggressive. The fear spam coming out as well. Evangeline getting feared up while they are all bursting him down. Snuts needs to land a full fear out onto Joxy. The Earthquake coming in from Smexen though. The triple Earthquake. Everyone is getting low from Soar right now. Are they going to be able to heal through the incoming damage? The consumption coming out. And Viable dipping dangerously low as well. The Halo coming out. Joxy trying to do everything he can to heal through this damage. Once again, Evangeline using that mount, that steed, to get away. He wants to get a Hodge out onto Sea-Doo, but Sea-Doo's doing an excellent job dodging it for the time being.
Yeah, and Sea-Doo's also doing a great job of getting his mana up. He's actually increased in mana, whereas Joxy is starting to run out. He has to use his Pain Suppression there on Inviable to keep him alive. He's going to be running out of cooldowns here very, very shortly. That Pain Suppression is now inactive. Inviable caught into that stun. Could be in some trouble here. They need to get through that Astral Shift, and then they might be able to score a kill afterwards. Joxy actually gets paralyzed there. He's going to go ahead and get out of that and start pumping out some more heals again. But if Method can keep this up, they're now at 13% dampening.
Yep, 13% dampening. As that gets higher and higher, it's going to be harder for these heals to heal through the incoming damage. I don't know which team it's really going to favor more. It feels like Method just has way more momentum. They haven't been pressured really in so long in this game. The Hodge going out onto Sea-Doo, it's not going to last very long. It doesn't give Joxy much of an opportunity to push in for that fear. Every time he does, Snuts is shutting it down with that Axe Toss, but Smexen getting a little bit low. Sea-Doo's just going to use that Life Cocoon to stabilize him, keep him alive. He wants him to be able to get aggressive. He doesn't want Soar to have any momentum on their side. Now Smexen can just push in very safely. Sea-Doo once again pushes in for the Incapacitate onto Joxy, into the double leg sweep onto Evangeline as well as Joxy. Snuts trying to get some damage out, casting out those Shadow Bolts. Bloodlust has been popped by Smexen, Evangeline having to play very, very defensive right now. Not able to get out too much damage whatsoever, and it just seems like Soar is on the back foot entirely.
Yeah, Joxy still has a little bit of mana remaining, and he's actually holding onto it much better than I thought he would be able to. But they're still just taking so much pressure, and they have not been able to counter pressure in a long time. They're trying to make something happen on a Smexen right now, but Smexen doesn't even care. He's in there, he's just doing damage as much as possible. Inviable caught into the stun, getting super low. He could just go down right here. He catches a shield, but it's not going to be enough. Inviable is going to go down. Method is going to take this series 3-1.
Yeah, they're going to be moving forward. Excellently done by Method, playing that Demonology Warlock enhancement Shaman with Sea-Doo on that Mistweaver Monk. I just feel like that was such a great performance coming out from them, just showing that they can multi-class exceptionally well, and they took down what I think is one of the favorites to qualify, Soar.
You know what I was really afraid of for Method this entire time? Demonology Warlock, okay, you've got the Thalkeels, it does a lot of damage. You've got the Implosion, it does a lot of damage. If Inviable would have held on to a Counter-Strike Totem and hit it right as Thalkeels is about to land, that's going to redirect or cause the same amount of damage to the lowest health target on Method's team. Those moments when Smexon was starting to get low, if he'd land, because at that point you don't have time to react for that, because if Thalkeel's going to land and you're always going to follow up by an Implosion, even if you take the time to melee it, it's still going to go off.
Look at Inviable's damage, actually. He did almost 70 million damage in that match. And of course, it was a little bit longer one, but compare that to Snuts' damage. And Snuts, we said earlier, his damage is a little bit inflated because that counts the damage that he's dealing himself with Thalkeel's consumption to his own pets. And so Inviable dealt almost that much damage just raw.
Yeah, that enhancement shamans do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
This is Group A once again. What makes it kind of interesting is now Method will be moving on to play against Gronks, and Sora is going to be knocked down into loser's bracket up against Northern Red.
Ooh.
That matchup is someone's going to get eliminated. One of those teams is not going to be moving forward into the final group.
And those are two of the favorites to actually qualify. So one of them is just screwed.
I know, I know, and it's so early into day one, and we're already looking at the two teams that could possibly be eliminated already. You know, watching Gronks take down Northern Red and knock them into the lower bracket. Gronks must be pretty happy at this point because Soar versus Northern Red is going to be a tough match.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, Gronks will be going up against Method. Winner of that will automatically move out of their group. Loser of that game will have to face off against the winner between Northern Red and Soar, which theoretically we could end up seeing a Gronks versus Northern Red rematch.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, we do have, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, Sea-Doo, standing by with Rich.
Thank you so much, Jared. Now, Sea-Doo, going up against Soar, you think of Evangeline, you think of him on the Paladin. Were you scared of that prot going into that series?
Well, we knew he had prot. We just really didn't know what to expect from it. We just know it does a lot of healing. It's going to drag games out a lot longer, gives him more opportunities to kind of land a kill, and it's got a lot more CC. So we were expecting it. We just didn't really know how we were going to fare against it. We knew they were practicing against a really good Beast Cleave. And you know, all in all, we just didn't really feel like the Beast Cleave matchup was that good. We went 1-1. We won the first game. We were confident the second game, and they just played really good the second game. So we decided we had to switch it up and play something that is a little less single target and kind of more spread, gives us more opportunities, kind of makes it so the prot healing isn't as effective. So that's why we ended up switching comps.
Yeah, now a lot of people have been talking about this in the community. Last chance. Is it the last chance? Are you feeling the pressure right now qualifying for BlizzCon here?
I mean, I definitely think there's a lot of pressure on myself and my team. You know, we got a big name, we got a big organization, we got a lot of history, a lot of experience, so it's a lot of pressure. As for my last chance, you know, I'm getting pretty old here. I think there's a seat on that caster bench for me over there with my name on it already, so I think this may be the last one. So we're giving everything we have. You know, we put in 12 hours a day for the last week, just an unbelievable amount of effort. And it's showing off that it's going to work here for us. So hopefully we can continue the success train and get to BlizzCon.
Yeah, and that definitely means there's a lot on the line, and it also means every match is important. Now, Bronx won earlier in the day. That means you're going to be facing them. They also kind of said they could beat you 3-0.
I mean, honestly, they impressed me. They're a really good team. We war gamed them, and you know, my first thought was, wow, you know, these guys aren't a free win. And I called it yesterday. I called them beating NG Red, and no one believed me. I had a lot of faith in them as a team, and I think they're going to be, you know, tough competitors. Could easily be a 3-2 series. Could easily come down to the blind pick. But all in all, you know, I expect my team to do well. I expect us to win, and you know, it might be a close series, but you know, I'm going to have to put my money on myself on this one.
Thank you so much, Sea-Doo. Now let's bring it back to Jared and the casters and take a deeper look at that last series.
All right, thank you very much, Rich. And you know, it would be kind of unnerving for the rest of Method if Sea-Doo was like, nah, we're going to lose this one 3-2.
Yeah, it's like that prediction is never going to be, no, I think we're going to lose. I
put my money on the other team.
Yeah, why would you ever say that?
Yeah.
just wouldn't. Yeah, it's interesting to hear C2 say, you know, he wasn't sure about the Beast Cleave. After the first game, they were still confident moving into game 2, but it just didn't work out quite as nicely as he would have liked, and they were able to bust out that alt comp with Snuts actually playing that Demonology Warlock. I don't think he's actually played too, I mean, maybe this last week in the boot camp he's been practicing it a lot, but I don't even think Snuts has his Warlock on live at 110 right now.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of Shadow Priest instead. We actually have a couple highlight clips of Snuts from that last game because he really was the playmaker of the match. Smexton was the constant damage, you know, it's you can see him, and this was a great moment when he's in the casting circle, you know, and he's getting ready to burst on it, burst on the enemy team.
Yeah, Inviable just getting annihilated there, just getting deleted. Here's this is the setup we kept talking about. He gets out his Dreadstalkers, he's going to get his Hand of Gul'dan out, which is going to spawn all those imps. There's the Demonic Empowerment, and he's going to follow that up with a Thalkeels. I think this one he put onto Avenge, and just watch Avenge's health just dip once that lands. He had cooldown up, he had Absorbs up, and it still put a big chunk of damage in.
You know what I really liked about the Prot Paladin, the thing that stood out for me was, we talked about the area denial of the Fel Lord, right? Okay, that made sense. That you just get out of it. But that Divine Steed being able to knock people back when you're Steed of Glory means he can knock Snuts out of his casting circle.
Yeah, Evangeline did a great job that game doing exactly what you just said, knocking him out of that casting circle. He also did a good job with his Divine Steed, making sure he was pushing into Sea-Doo constantly, using those Hodges, but...
He actually got a Life Cocoon out of Sea-Doo when he shouldn't have needed to because we're playing on Dalaran Sewers. He actually knocked Smexton so hard that he knocked him off the edge, and Sea-Doo had to roll over and immediately hit a cocoon on him.
Yeah, it was really impressive. I actually think that composition, like those games could have gone either way. It really came down to how good each team was playing their specific composition in that matchup. I don't think that was a comp win, essentially, is what I'm saying. It was absolutely that they just
Well, I think a big factor as well is I don't know how many teams have experience against Demonology Warlock, so being able to use one of these classes, one of these specializations that a lot of teams haven't been able to practice against, a lot of their damage is unexpected. I mean, I don't even know necessarily how their burst setup works. So they get out a lot of pets and they sacrifice their pets and stuff happens, but I mean, you don't really know when they're going to be bursting. You don't know when the damage is coming, how much damage to expect, how tanky and survivable they really are. Are they a viable target? Should you be shutting them down? Just all these questions that are unanswered for a lot of these players, and I feel like that's going to play a large factor into this tournament.
Yeah, it was interesting. We kind of saw last weekend with the European Championship, we saw initially like Frost Mages were just murdering everybody because they were getting those big old glacial spikes off, and it was just so much damage. But then as the tournament went on, people started going, okay, actually we need to watch for those. We need to make sure to interrupt those, because coming off of Warlords, you didn't need to watch the Mage for what he was casting 99% of the time. You wanted to watch for Polymorph, but that was about it. So it's like, oh, Glacial Spike. I wonder what that ability is. What does that do? Oh, we're dead now.
They have Chaos Bolt all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly.
What's going on?
Yeah, so watching these teams sort of adapt to these constantly shifting compositions and classes that they're having to go up against.
All right, so we're going to shift gears and go to Group B. So our next matchup is going to be Northern Black versus This Is Brazil. So our first matchup of Group B. We're going to take a short break so that our players can set up.
I think we're clear for this one.
Hey, what's up? Just a quick video. I get asked a lot, how do you stream to YouTube using NVIDIA Shadowplay? So I'm just going to quickly show you this. Let's go to nvidia.co.uk, or whichever one's relevant to you. Highlight over drivers, scroll down, GeForce Experience. You'll see here, check out the GeForce Experience beta. Click learn more. Here you'll see all the details about the new overlays, all the updates and pretty much everything. But anyway, download the beta and let's kick GeForce Experience up and see what has changed. Okay, so now that you have NVIDIA GeForce Experience beta installed, you'll see that there is now a share tab and a drop down menu. So we're going to click the drop down menu. Here you'll see open, connect, preferences and disable. I'm going to click connect. Here you log into your Twitch, your YouTube, your Imgur. Nice and simple. Once that's done, you can either bring up the overlay with Alt plus Z, which is this overlay, or you can simply click the share button. So first thing you can see here is it's completely different and new. You can change your mic settings here, look. Change the levels while in game, because you can use this overlay with Alt plus Z actually while you're in a game, so it's very handy. We're going to go to settings. Here you can do overlays. You can have your camera, choose whichever one you want it, look. We'll turn that off because I don't have a camera in. Status indicator, FPS counter, viewers, you see how many viewers you've got up there, your rig details if you want them on there, turn those off. You've got your keyboard shortcuts, which you can fully customize. You'll see here Alt plus F8 brings up the broadcast, which is awesome. Recordings, we don't want to do that. Stream,